Good afternoon, ladies. How are we doing? Yes. Do me a favor, everyone just stand up. I know we had lunch, we had a quick break. Let's reset the energy. Do me a favor, whatever you're thinking now, the emails that you have to get to, what's going on back home, what time's my flight, am I leaving tomorrow? All those thoughts, I want you to just release them, kind of shake them off, reset yourself, make a noise if you got it. And we're going to have a lot of fun, hopefully, talking about books, so feel free to take a seat now. Always good to reset the energy sometimes, because in these conferences, you just never know when you're going to get pulled in multiple directions. But today I want to talk about thought leaderships and books. So, every woman in this room is walking around with $1 million story that is still a secret. There's an expertise that you have, there is a story that you have to share with the world, and maybe no one's ever even heard it. So, your expertise, your story, how can that impact someone else? You know, I just talked to my mentor this last month, and she reminded me, Amber, you don't need to be the expert of all experts. You just have to be even 2 steps ahead of the person that you want to help. Anyone else feel that? Sometimes you're kind of feeling like, well, Amber, I've not spoken on global stages before, but I want to start speaking. Or, Amber, now I'm finally in the C-suite, but I'm still not where I want to be. How am I supposed to help anybody else? Well, think about the person that you were even 2 years ago. That's the person that you're talking to. So I got to meet a lot of beautiful ladies in the room. Some of them I haven't. So my name is Ybarra. I am a former construction CEO of over a decade. I am a TEDx speaker, and I'm a proud business development leader with selfpublishing.com. And today we want to talk about how books change lives. And currently, I want to share how writing a book changed my life 7 years ago. You see, I was running a construction company in my mid-20s, and everything seemed so successful on the outside. We had the reviews, we hit the 7 figures, we built the team, we held the retention with them, right, which is kind of hard sometimes. But the thing was is that the partnership failed. And so I was in my late 20s figuring out what my next step was. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do next, so I did what I think any woman in their right mind would want to do. I fled off to Europe for a few months to contemplate life. And something really hit me when I was there. It didn't matter where you go in the world, how you decide to escape from the troubles that you're facing at the time, because you can never run from yourself. You can never run from the thoughts in your own mind. And so, I came back home, and I started looking for inspiration. I started asking myself, who can I turn to? What coach can I hire to give me the inspiration that I need to next level myself in this moment? Went onto YouTube, decided to spend a lot more money than I want to admit to every single Tony Robbins event that you could have ever gone to. And then I was in search of a book. I needed something to completely shift my mindset. I needed a book that could help me realize that, hey, Amber, the way you're thinking now isn't the way that thinking is going to get you to that next level. So I'm in search for it. I found a few books, but a lot of them were very blasé. It was all about date the guy, eat the cake, take the trip. Cool. I've done all those 3 things. Now what do you got, right? So then it came to me, dare I be the person that wrote the book that I was looking for? And that's when it hit me. That one thought led to an action that led to me becoming a bestseller. And that book, it changed my life. I'm telling you, that book was the catalyst for landing the TED Talk, for sharing my story about being a woman in a male-dominated industry. Like as Andrew was talking about, holding that space in different rooms, especially of men, landing the contract, helping those around you, becoming a leader in your space. It also helped me to work with some of my favorite mentors and people. The cool thing about books that, of course, it wasn't just me. Some of the most iconic people in the world understand how books scale your business and thought leadership. Everyone from the Jess Ekstroms, the Tony Robbins, the Mel Robbins, I'm sure there's another Robbins in there somewhere that I'm forgetting, but all of these amazing people that understand how having that book changes and scales your industry. So, how can we build your thought leadership? Through writing a book. You see, and hopefully everyone has a mind map, by the way. Is there anyone that doesn't? Will you raise your hand if you don't have a mind map? Okay, because we're going to be getting to that very soon. So here at selfpublishing.com, we believe that books change lives. Okay, there's not just me saying it. We've helped over 8,000 people become published authors in over 91 countries. The only one that we have yet to hit is Ybarra, so you know a person in that region, you send them on my way, please. I want to share with you Karen Wilkinson, as an example. She wrote a memoir about her husband. She was advocating for her husband's life, who was going through a double lung transplant. And she never thought that she'd become a speaker one day, but what ended up happening from her being a published author was over 444 reviews. And because she started sharing her story, there were other people and families that really resonated with her message. So she actually ended up booking over 100 stages as a speaker from that book. Then you have Kate McKay. Claim your inner badass. Has anyone here heard of Kate McKay? I feel like thank you. I feel like every conference I go to, they're like, oh my gosh, you guys wrote her book? Yeah, we work with some pretty badass women. So she actually utilized her book to build her business on the back end. So what Kate did was she ended up having her first webinar, generated over 20K with that webinar, over 100 5-star reviews, and she even launched a super successful podcast. Then we have Miss Samantha Skelly, Hungry for Happiness. Okay, she ended up going from blank page to published in 9 months. Her book actually became so popular that a traditional publishing house was fighting for the rights for her book. And let me tell you, it's not just them, it's other powerful women just like you who are utilizing the power of the book to share their story, their expertise, and to build their brands and business. So, your book, it's your marketing tool. It is the first thing that people, when they see it and they maybe have never heard of you, can be the way that they get to know you on a deeper level. That is called influence. So what can a book be leveraged to do? Impact, your income, building your brand. Is there anyone here working to build their brand? Yes, brand authority, share their story. So today I want to share these 3 lessons with you. We're going to go over how to write a book, how to successfully launch a book, which is super important because so many people can say, hey, I've self-published a book before, meaning they threw it up on Amazon.com, but then it gets lost in the Amazon graveyard because they got 3 reviews, 5 people wrote the book, who was our aunt, uncle, brother, sister, and mom. And it's not in the right hands of the people that they actually wrote the book for. So how do we do that? Most importantly, how can we monetize it? Before I go any further, are there any people that are authors in this room? Yes, congratulations. Round of applause, by the way. Anyone here have the desire to write a book? Yes. Anyone here are like, writing a book's just not my thing, and that's okay. Thank you for being honest. And now, who here will not raise their hand no matter what question I ask? Okay, gotcha. Hey, I love you guys too. It's not a problem. So, self-publishing versus traditional publishing. We get asked this question all the time because most people say, hey, my goal, my dream is to be with Hay House, to be with insert publishing house here. Well, more now than ever, people are wanting to go the self-publishing route for a few reasons. It's going to be distribution. What are the royalty rates looking like? What's the timeline looking like? And so, to let you know a secret about a little bit of those, because both of them are great, here at selfpublishing.com, we actually help you to go from blank page to published in as little as 90 days. Some people take 6 months, some people take a year. The most important part that I feel is that you have full autonomy when you work with someone like us. You keep 100% of the royalties, and we're there with you through the trenches to make sure that you are that bestseller, to make sure that your book does reach the audience that you're wanting it to reach. So, how do you begin? Sometimes it can feel a little scary. Sometimes it can feel like a really big feat. Where do you start? I want you to go through this idea finder, especially for those that raise their hands. And actually, for those that raise their hands, I'm curious what bucket you're in. Are you one of the people that you have so many ideas that how do you put all of that into one book? Maybe you have too many ideas and you're like, Amber, what do I write about? I feel like I have 3 different books worth of ideas. Anyone here have too many? Does anyone here know exactly what they want to write about? I love the certainty. Yes, 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 yes. So if you're having trouble though, and you're in the middle with finding your idea, this will help you. What are the broken record conversations that you have with people time and time again? Whether you're at a networking event, maybe they're asking you what you do. Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. What's the story behind that? What are the things that people ask you that you say over and over? Number 2, what's the special sauce, right? What makes you unique? And number 3, those pain points and those triggers. Now, how do you know which one to write first? Right? Which one are you going to finish the fastest? To me, all 3 of these really come down to what are you most passionate about? And really, what's the one book that's gonna help you monetize quickly so that it feeds in to the business that you're working to build, to that legacy, to that dream that you're working on currently. So this is where the mind maps come in. Get those mind maps in front of you, and this is what it's going to end up looking like. But what I want you to do is in that middle bubble, write down what you want to write a book about. Is it your story? Is it about your methodology? Is it about maybe it's a tell-all about C-suite execs? I mean, who knows, right? Sky's the limit. Whatever comes to your mind first, write that down in the middle of the bubble. Then what I want you to do is write down all the stories and conversations around it. What is around that topic? Who inspired you maybe to write about that thing? Or what in your life inspired you to write about that thing? We'll take just a quick minute. I always love when I see lots of writing. So by the end of it, you should truly have a whole web of ideas. And before you know it, you actually have an outline for your book. Okay? One thing I hear is that, Amber, but maybe that's not the exact message that I want to share. Or I have too many. Or, hold up, there aren't enough arrows on this mind map to show what I actually want to write about. And that's okay. Write on the sides, scribble anywhere. Because what you're actually going to get at the end of this is a brand manifesto. You're going to get all of your best ideas into one place. And before you know it, that mind map's going to turn into an outline that you can write, that you can speak through, that will become your book. I'm curious here, as I see so many women intentionally writing, is anyone brave enough to share what they want to write about? I know there's someone in the room. This is a no judgment zone, so please, yes, right here. What do you want to write about? Tell us your big idea.
So I believe that there's a myth that was created to, thank you. I believe that there was a myth created for women to fail, and it's called balance.
I love that. Yeah, round of applause. And can I ask you, where did that come from for you? Why do you feel that's the message that you want to get out to the world? Was it your personal experience?
100% personal experience. I grew up in a circus family, and my brother actually specialized in juggling. So one day I was sitting down and talking to my sister about things, and I said, there's no such thing as balance. It's not real. You can't balance everything. You can't run a business and be a mother and do all these things. You have to learn how to juggle. And just like when we were learning how to juggle in the circus, you have to figure out what your footing is going to be like first, how many balls you can juggle, what your skills are. Some of us can juggle flames, some of us can juggle swords, but the number one thing that you cannot drop when you're dropping the balls is yourself. And that's what I want my book to be about.
Let's go! Thank you so much for sharing. Let's get one or two more. Who else would like to share? The lady right here in the pink, yes? Right back here.
So I have been thinking about writing this story for about 10 years, which is going to be my 10 Toes In story. That's in my organization. And yes, it's from my lived experience. I fell in love with my best friend of over 40 years while he was serving a 25 to life sentence in a state prison. And I was searching for a support group for women like myself, professional women, educated women, whose heart loves who it loves. And I could not find the support that I needed, and so I became the change that I wanted to see. And I created 10 Toes In, which is a 501 nonprofit organization that goes to prisons throughout the state of California, and we teach men how to be in healthy relationships with their partners. Once they come home, we enroll them into our case management program, and we provide support groups for them. So I want to talk about me wanting to become a criminal defense attorney when I was a youngster, and God had a different blueprint for me. And he took me down a different path than what I thought I was going to go down. And I also we are changing the narrative of how society looks at women like myself who are in these types of relationships. And I want to put that on paper, and I want to travel internationally speaking about this topic into different audiences.
Let's go! Thank you for sharing that. We have time for one more. Yes, this lady right here in the front. Right over here.
I believe that anyone can change and become whoever it is that they want to be, and you can overcome however you were born and however you were raised, and you can overcome addiction, and you can overcome anything and end up at your dream location. And that is all from personal experience.
Thank you so much. Round of applause. Okay, where do I start? Hearing even these three stories, can you imagine the woman sitting next to you? The things that they've experienced that they haven't shared with you today? We are all so bold and beautiful in our own different ways, and I just really appreciate you guys sharing that. Thank you. I'm excited to read your books one day. So, the biggest thing I hear, of course we're all busy, is, Amber, I don't have enough time. What I'm really hearing is, Amber, I don't have enough time to put all of my best stuff into one place to save me countless of hours later. Because that book is your business card. So, for those who don't have time, Hayden Crabtree, I want to share a quick part of his story because he was a person that didn't have enough time to write a book. But guess what? One Thanksgiving weekend, he found time to write over 230 pages for a book that he ended up building a business on the back end of that made him over $320,000 in masterminds, in coaching, in helping people because he decided to share his story and expertise and skip the flip. So, cool, Amber, I've heard all these successful stories. How do I become one of those successful people? Well, there's going to be a few different ways that you can. First one is this. So many people, when they want to write a book, they get caught up in the creativity of what that book's going to be called, right? How can I keep it simple? When you look at this book, do you know what you're getting? It's called published, by the way. You know you're probably going to be able to publish a book. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure hopefully, it's branded, right? These colors are the colors of selfpublishing.com. You want to hope that it's branded. You want to be very clear. Most importantly, you want to create a launch plan, right? Build a launch team. Build a community of people that can help advocate for the book and expertise and story that you're wanting to share. And lastly, those reviews. Those reviews really are everything. It's another part of what we do to help you in the trenches along the way to getting you published. So, that 10K launch. I feel like so many people think that a 10K launch is unattainable. Remember, how can I get to 10K? I've heard of people publishing books and they've maybe sold 50, they maybe have sold 100. You really only need to sell maybe, 40% of royalties if you're keeping with audiobooks, about 1,200 copies. Not many people live in this world. 1,200 copies is so attainable. And so you're able to monetize your thought leadership through a process and through a proven blueprint. When you grow your business through your book, or your thought leadership through your book, you're going to get more leads, more sales, but also more referrals. We're not just saying this because it's not a strategy. We're saying this because this is what we've done. Writing our books have helped us to gain PR, get landed on podcasts, right? Be able to get seen on the news about our expertise. And guess what that means? That means you're able to leverage other people's audiences, which means more eyes on your book, which means more impact and monetization. So, here's a kind of behind the scenes of how we do it. You're able to get our book, and then you're able to have or sign up to one of our lead magnets and get into our email drip campaign, and then our outbound sales team is able to call you, and from that, selfpublishing.com is able to generate over 6 figures a month through this one book. So, we believe that it's the future of publishing, and a few of the ways that we help our people is everything that traditional publishing houses help with, everything that hybrid publishers help with. We're kind of right in the middle. We help you with the formatting, the editing. We have a success coach that really helps you through the process, and we help with that distribution, but most importantly, with that pre-launch, launch plan, and then getting it out to the right audience of people. So, over that, if you plan to write your book in the next 2 to 4 years, we have a beautiful hardcover copy of this book. Maybe the seed was just planted today and you're like, well, never even thought about writing a book until now. We'd love to gift you this book, so feel free to see us. We're right outside to the right. And for those of you who are looking to publish your book in maybe the next 12 months, feel free to scan the QR code. It's for a 30-minute session with the amazing Michael over here in the back. Michael, wave. Yes, amazing. Yeah, round of applause for the man in the back. He is going to be the person that can help you really get clear and gain some clarity on what your book idea looks like, what's the timeline for it, how can we help you with that. And so we're here to support. And don't forget, for those who have that story and expertise that they're still keeping a secret, it's time for you to publish it. So thank you.